So we're getting ready to install the seats in the 1964 A100 Little Dead Wagon. I like looking at the camera, I guess kind of punches at home. Anyway, it's not the point, it's not all about me. These seats are customized. When it's all custom like this, I can anticipate some problems. My biggest fear will be that they set too high or they don't set right when they actually get bolted in. It is what it is, we got to get to SEMA, so. One of the things I admire most about Doug is how he will take his time. When you take those seats, for example, that bolt doesn't thread in there by hand, he'll clean it up. He'll clean the bolt up, he'll run a thread chaser through it, run the tap in there, get those threads all cleaned up. He doesn't want to be in a situation, and most technicians are not this way, they'll just ram it in there with an impact gun. Doug takes his time, cleans it up, and makes sure that it's a sanitary install. So for all the crap that I give him about his weirdness and his mannequins and his strange brain, he's actually a phenomenal tech. Seats really went in without too much trouble at all. Again, this is a little bit different than what we're used to working on, so we did have to clean up some holes. We did have to find and locate the holes in the floor, that kind of a thing. But overall, it went really well. I'm glad that's done because now the seats are in it, we can set in it, we can set the height to figure out where the shifter's gonna be, so we can really start moving forward with the wrap-up. So on our Little Dead Wagon, there are a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of choreography because there's only so much room for so many people. Now, the engine's in it, certainly that means the drivetrain's in it, but the wood has to be stained. We bought a really cool floor bed kit from Yogi's. We're staining it with a dark walnut and then we're using PPG clear over the top of that, so that's Will's job. The rest of the team are working on getting the stainless steel trimmed and fitted, cut, and put into place for like the wheel tubs and the insides of the bed. We're pretty lucky to have a really cool metal shop right down the road from us. The guys at All Pro, they just roll out the carpet for us. They have all the brakes and all the slip rolls and everything, that they're the ones really that are pre-cutting and pre-shaping a lot of the stainless steel that's going inside the bed. It's big pieces, so you know, inside that bed's 6 feet long and it has to have a certain shape and a certain contour to it. So when you're talking about clear coating over an impervious substrate like metal, it doesn't take nearly as much paint because the paint has nowhere to go, it can't soak in. But this is wood. So that stain, while it goes on there and it soaks into the wood, the clear is coat after coat. Typically speaking, you would want to put 3 or 4 coats of clear on, let it set for a week, sand it, then re-clear it, and continue to do that until you had a nice flush finish. So the Little Dead Wagon has kind of been an ongoing change. And so from what I had envisioned originally to where it is even right now is different. The basic structure of it is the same. It's a great big Hemi in the back of an A100 and it's painted red and it, you know, got a Little Dead Wagon going onto it and all that stuff. But the stainless steel inside was more of an afterthought. Originally when I did it, I thought I would do body and paint work inside of there. But as we started running out of time for SEMA and that date kept creeping forward, I thought, you know, the stainless would look pretty good, and it will. But it also saves me on my end a lot of time. The body and the paint that we'd have to do inside there would be an enormous amount of time. Frankly, we just didn't have that time. So the kit from Yogi's for the bed floor, I believe is for a regular 8-foot bed. That doesn't leave us a lot of extra wood and a lot of extra stainless. It does leave us some, but what we've got to be careful of is making sure that when we make our cuts that we don't overcut. You can't put wood back on. You can keep taking it off, but you got to be careful when you make your measurement and you make your cut. Now at the same time that you've got this specific piece of wood that needs to be, say, 54 inches long, maybe it only needs to be 4 inches wide and originally it's a 6-inch wide piece. So then we have to do a radial cut or a lineal cut down. That's where guys like Royal come in because he's done a lot of woodwork and so is our new greenhorn. But when you're done, you've got to be able to stack this tongue and groove in together with the stainless steel separators. They also have to be precision cut. You cut too far, you can't put it back on there. With no time left for SEMA, it's just a very crucial time, even though we're rushing, and normally you can make compromises in a rush. This stuff, you have to stop, take your time, not just double measure, triple, quadruple measure. You need to make sure it's right. I always measure wrong. You learn that these little hands are the best things you can do. I mean, you can take a tape measure to it, you can use a block of wood, you can take papers and roll them up, but the fact is, your fingers are pretty much the same on each hand, unless you're Dougie. God only knows what he's got. I can measure, I can take a 2x4 that's 4 foot long, Get another one, stand it up next to it, make a mark on it, and cut it, and it would be shorter. Why? Because I cut on the wrong side of the blade, Royal says. So that's why I'm not doing it. There is no room for that kind of stuff. No Mark Warmanisms in this one. You know, I watch a lot of car shows. I spent the last 15 years watching great shows like Overhauling, and I always thought to myself, that's a crock, man. Nobody's under that kind of pressure. But they can be. They're under that pressure. And in this situation where you got SEMA just right around the corner, and we're just now starting to put a bed floor in, it's so important that we don't make any mistakes, because we can't next day out a whole nother kit that weighs 300 pounds, right? We have to take our time, but at the same time, one small mistake throws the whole game over. What are you gonna put on the floor? Some carpet, and then throw some shag carpet in there, call it a 70s unit? So yeah, you do have to make the right cuts, and you have to make them every single time. When I bought the little A100, I knew that it was gonna be a little dead wagon. Check it out. It's been a long process. Got a lot of time into it. A lot of time it just sat because we had other cars that we were working on. Also deciding exactly how I wanted it to look, making sure I had the right vendors lined up on a project like this, because I've never really done a subframe like we had to do on this one. That's a lot of head scratching, that's a lot of thinking, because it's not just cosmetic. If we don't do something right underneath there, somebody dies. Who's going to build the engine? Where are you going to get the engine? Who's going to build the transmission? Where are you going to get the transmission? The rear end, all these things. When you add them up and you sit down with a pen and paper and you start getting things coordinated, it takes a long time to build a car. And it's just a shame that all that prep and all that time and all those dedicated hours still come down, no matter how hard you try, to that last murderous week, hell week, where you're just doing back-to-back suicide shifts trying to knock one of these things out. Maybe one day we'll have a perfect system and won't have to do that. But right now, I don't know any way to avoid it. So this is actually one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. When I was a kid, I remember the little red wagon with all the cool decals down the side, and he had some I don't have. There were sponsors back in the day that were very big into racing, maybe that aren't as much today. What I tried to do was, number one, if they really truly were sponsors, and they were around back in 1964, I tried to use their original graphics. I tried to do replicas of the originals. So when you see like the Hearst shifter, now I wanted to have that one on there because that was been on many cars over the years. So the little Hearst logo is an original 1964 style. Milidon's a great sponsor. They worked with us on the oil pan, the oil cooling system, all kinds of things like that. But the decal I had to use on that is the only one that they've had, which is the modern day logo. Krager, you look at that one on there, that's the one that was back on the trucks and on the race cars back in the day. This, to me, I look at it with the logos, with the lettering, everything, the wheels, the tires, the stance, the engine. I am looking at the model that I built when I was a little kid in my bedroom on 14th Street when I was about 8 years old. So hopefully the rest of the world that remembers the vehicle and loved Bill Maverick and got to see him maybe in some cases live like I did up at Woodburn and PIR will really love the truck, and hopefully it takes them and transcends them just back to a funner time in our lives when we were kids.
So right now Mark is out doing his final test drive on the A100. You hear him pulling in right now, so we're going to bring it in, do it once over on it, make sure we're good to go.
That's a bad boy, bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it comes for you? What do you think?
How'd it run?
Good. Took it around the parking lot, couldn't steer it, front end was in the air.
So it's ready to go.
It's ready to go, what do you think?
It came out great.
This thing is absolutely beautiful. It came out just like I wanted it to. It has so much of the spirit of the original one that I grew up watching. Everything I wanted from the beginning, from the time I first thought about it, first had the idea at SEMA a couple of years ago.
No, No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. This was my idea for us to build this.
Well, Lonnie freaking dog.
Was it my idea?
I did not know that.
When we got back from the SEMA the year before, said, hey boss, this is what we got to do. Horrible idea. Literally horrible. Wanted no part of it. You knew it was my idea.
No, I don't even remember you saying it. You keep saying you did, but I don't believe you did.
I thought it was a joke. Like, he truly forgot.
I have a delayed learning response.
6 months?
Yeah, 6 months, yeah.
This thing's awesome. The car came out great. We got it ready for SEMA. And it's ready for the red carpet.
Absolutely gorgeous. Ray Barton builds the nastiest engine on the planet today. It has 923 horsepower on pump gas.
And it fired right out.
Yep. 871 blower shop blower, dual Holley carburetors. Just beautiful.
No, it
Yep.
has a good feel to it.
Got our Yogi Bear floor in there. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, is there anything you'd do differently?
Not a thing.
And look at the lettering Brenda did on that. I mean, just a local talent to capture the spirit of what I wanted, which was, I wanted it to look like the lettering and look the cartoony kind of a feel to it. It wasn't until she started putting the shadows on it that it really started to pop.
No, this has that old school feel to it.
Hoosier, Excel, Eat My Shift transmission guys. Johnny Lightning. Johnny Lightning was the original sponsor of the little red wagon.
Oh, was it?
Yep. We are going, and I didn't tell you this. This is the cool stuff. Notice my pistol grip shifter.
Yeah.
My crushed velvet tuck and roll interior. Oh, that was spawned from my brain.
No, it wasn't. The steering wheel's cool.
Mom used to say I had a fertile mind.
You probably did at one point.
No, I still
agree.
have a fertile mind. There's nothing wrong with my mind.
You
It
just
still
said
works.
you were delayed.
You know what I did is I did that for you because I feel sorry for you.
You just realized
you come up with lies, and then I just tried to get you a back door out of it. You remember the red carpet last year with the Superbird?
Actually, no.
Oh, you weren't there?
You didn't let us go.
It's a shame. Yeah. You'll be down there this year. They invited us to go across the red carpet. Only one car gets invited to go across the red carpet, and you are looking at it.
It's like 100 cars.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Only one little dead wagon
yeah.
with a 426 Hemi with dual Holley carburetors and an 871 supercharger on it get to go across.
That is correct. Yes.
So
this will be the only
picking the fly poop out of the pepper, I'd say.
No,
You think we're ready?
I think we're ready.
I'm exhausted. See you in SEMA 2018. Litter dead wagon. Get ready, pack up, head out. You guys are flying down. I don't fly, I drive. It takes about 15 hours. I average about 80 miles an hour going down there. 2016 Challenger Shaker,
They
still getting
honestly
22.
don't care.
Huh?
The people at home don't care.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry I'm
That's
boring
okay.
you with what I'm going to actually do. Why don't we talk about how many beers you're going to drink while you're down there? Because they love to hear about that.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Good comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
So now that we got this all wrapped up, I'm gonna go get packed. We're gonna catch our flight, get down to Las Vegas, and make sure we're ready to go for the red carpet.
Little Willie can't block mud. Comes to the daddy for the daddy rescue. Ha ha.
He's ridiculous. He's so ridiculous.
Right now we're down at the Las Vegas SEMA show, SEMA 2018. I drove down from Springfield, Oregon. Took me about 14 hours. Mopar invited us back to their booth again. It's an honor. It always is an honor because, let's face it, I mean, that's the big guy, right? And so for us to be part of the adopted family is pretty cool. This year, I told them I was building a little dead wagon with the second generation 426 Hemi in it, and they wanted to put it in their booth. So we're down here setting that up.
The red carpet's pretty cool. They take some of the really cool, popular cars and kind of roll them across the stage before they head inside to get set up for their display. So Justin and I came down a day early, kind of go over the A100, make sure it was running, driving, ready to go. Got here early this morning, got right to the booth, and it wouldn't start. So after some trial and error, going through the whole thing, come to find out our fuel pump is no longer working. This pump. For real?
Yeah.
How does a brand pump just stop after like day 2 of running? So we got it disconnected, like hit the switch, and we got nothing coming out of that.
Yeah,
pump.
nothing's coming out of it at all. It's fried.
So right now we can't run the truck, and we have about 45 minutes before we're doing the red carpet. And the reason we're running around, sweating, it's hot as hell in here.
So I think that the fuel pump's probably not pumping. It's running, but it's not pumping anything. So Mopar has this, I think, 345 horse crate engine. Remember when they built the one up last year, they just used regular fuel pump on it? So it's got an electric fuel pump inside here that's regulated up to 60 pounds for this, but we can regulate it down for ours. And it's got 6 AN fittings on it. So I think they're coming over to take the pump out and then hand it to us, and we're gonna put it in ours.
Wow.
So the 2 wires that go to ours will have to go over to theirs.
Okay.
And I imagine he's connected those in a different way, but they've got tools here. They've got everything.
Great.
When I got here, the battery was dead. We've had this thing dialed in for 3 or 4 days, and not once have we had a battery issue. Mopar had a display unit here, knew the urgency of everything, the time frame, the crunch that we had, and they said, "Hey, here you go. Take apart what you need." And that was pretty rock star right there on their part.
So whatever we're going to need to be able to get that in, we got to do it quick if we're going to make it to the red carpet.
Yeah.
And I think what it's going to do is we're going to draw off of just one tank right now, just to get over there and back, and leave the other one connected so it doesn't bleed out. That's what I'm hoping. That's the goal, to see what we do.
They've actually taken one of their engines and it's complete, and they're letting us take the fuel pump off of it right now so we can put it on our truck for tonight's event. Right now we have 30 minutes to get this off and get it installed. It's going to be a long shot, but Justin's working on it right now, so I think there is a chance we can get it done.
I have a suspicion that whoever moved it into the Mopar booth last night left the fuel pump on, because there's nothing that says fuel pump or off or on, so it'd be easy to leave it on. Because this morning when Will got here, the battery was completely dead, and it's a brand new 127 battery. The switch was off, but I think somebody came around and realized what they had done later. So I think that pump running all night without a shutoff valve on it took the pump.
It is a different fuel pump, but it's still the same style. 2 wires it runs, nothing fancy. It's just a matter of, we didn't come down here with a ton of tools. I just kind of put what I thought we might need in my little Disneyland backpack, and we're trying to muscle through it right now. We have the fuel pump in there. The problem we're running into is they use bigger fittings than what we used. So at this point, we're trying to see if we can just bypass all of our system completely and go with their setup all the way through and try to get it good enough just to get it to the red carpet tonight. It is 1:45, we have 15 minutes. It's just been one problem after another. We've always been able to overcome everything over the past couple months. That means the little dead wagon is dead.
We just found out that we're not going to be able to get this truck running and on stage for the red carpet event. So instead, we're getting ready to raise it up in the air, put it on the stand so it can be up on display. Everybody will enjoy it. It was just kind of disappointing that we couldn't get to the actual red carpet event.
I guess we just clean up our mess, get the forklift, because we still need to get this thing jacked up and down. Yep, we'll talk tomorrow. All right.
It's real frustrating, real disappointing.
So at this point, we're basically just kind of buttoning it back up. We're gonna get it lifted 4 feet up in the air, and then we're gonna go out and have a drink. We're hitting Fremont Street, we're done. Get ready to do all of our autographs tomorrow. Hey everybody, Will Scott, #1 painter here from Graveyard Carz. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you go in, like it, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now I'm gonna get back to painting.